destroyed the hell out of the base. This is awful.
It really is. It looks like they got hit hard. And to think there were casualties.
You know the Imperial Army isn't going to sit and twiddle their thumbs after suffering an attack like this. They have their image to uphold after all. Hey, looks like most of the damage is concentrated on the south side of the building. You think whoever carried out the attack could have done it from the Highlands?
It seems very likely. But where on the plains could they launch an attack like that from?
Well, the Highlands are incredibly vast. We'd need some kind of clue to even know where to start looking. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find something here. How's the situation with the Republic Army? Looks like they're really hustling over there. We've confirmed a number of armored vehicles entering and exiting the area.
We've heard their base got hit pretty badly. And even from over here, it sure looks that way.
The Lieutenant General said that the Republican base got hit at least as hard as the Watchtower, if not harder. But we believe they were responsible for that as well. They need an excuse to attack us, and that sure as hell looks like one.
Do you really think it's true? That much damage seems awfully excessive.
They probably just got overzealous with the explosives. Doesn't make much difference either way. If they're brazen enough to attack us, we'll blow them back across the border. The soldiers here all seem to have their doubts. But without any hard evidence, we're not going to be able to convince them. We should reconsider the possibility that this was a deliberate act of sabotage by Calvert. I think that's all the info we can gather here.
I think so too. Now we need to analyze what we've learned. First, we should establish a good picture of what was happening when the attack occurred. It seems like the best place to start. So first of all, what time did the actual attack on the Watchtower happen?
At 3. It was 3 a.m.
Yes, that's what the guard told us. But that wasn't all that was going on then.
That's right. The Republican Army's base also came under attack. And according to the Lieutenant General, they suffered even greater damage than what happened here.
I think we can safely discount the possibility that the Republican Army bombed their own forces then. But there's no evidence that the Imperial Army launched an attack either. All we know is that both attacks happened and both sides took heavy damage. However, as Elisa said, we have no evidence to suggest that either side was responsible.
If we accept that as fact, the most likely scenario is that the responsibility lies with another party entirely.
So you think
a third party is working behind the scenes to provoke both countries into starting a war? Tension between the Empire and the Republic are high, but compared to other areas of similar political value, the Nord Highlands have always been peaceful. I can conceive of no reason either country would have decided to break that peace last night.
I agree. If anything, it seems that the negatives would outweigh the positives for both parties. If this were Crossbow, it might be a different story, but here, now that you mention it, we found something else odd about the attack on the Watchtower. Something that seems to point to a third party.
Something else about the attack on the Watchtower. I bet she's referring to this. The area that was damaged.
Really? But the area too, right? Because it was kind of like in the area of the Highlands and not
Calvert's area. I figured it was the weapon, but I thought maybe it'd be like a trick question. Indeed, they have little reason to be considered the Republic. To be considering the Republic as its own major orbital technology manufacturer, the Verne Company, as I recall.
Yeah, the Verne Company is responsible for arms used by the Republican Army. Then there's the fact that the mortar used here is old. The Imperial Army hasn't used this model for years. Now I've heard that military surplus sometimes makes its way onto the black market and ends up in the hands of mercenaries. Knowing that, it seems unlikely that either army chose to use it to cover their tracks.
Quite. However, there is a far more pressing question we need to answer.
What do you mean?
I know where you're going. We need to know where the attack was launched from in the first place.
That's going to be difficult to work out.
But without that vital detail, all our speculations thus far is for naught. If we intend to avert a war, we need more speculation. We need more than speculation. We need conclusive evidence. Agreed. But the Highlands are far too vast to just strike out searching blindly. Especially with the Lieutenant General's deadline rapidly approaching.
Actually, we may not have to start our search blind. If Elisa and guys will lend me a hand, I may be able to help. Huh?
What do you have in mind?
If I can factor the location of the damage together with the speed and the trajectory of the mortar shells, and then take into account the Highlands' winds, I may be able to estimate the area from which the mortar was fired. Or potentially, anyway.
Are you serious? Sounds easier said than done.
I'll do what I can. Are you familiar with the specifics of the shell that was used? I think so. It's an old model, but I should be able to give you some rough data. That should be plenty. Anyway, let's have another look at those damaged areas. Please come with me, everyone.
Right.
Alright, I think I've calculated a rough location. I believe the mortar was fired from a location to the south of here. Using the map as a reference point, that means it was likely launched from somewhere in this area. And according to my calculations, the launch site shouldn't be too far from here.
Wow, I can't believe you managed to work that out. That's well beyond the level of mathematics we cover in class. I'll enjoy watching Ragnitz really sweat it out trying to best you on our next midterm.
Just a little applied physics. We couldn't have done it without Alicia and Guy's help. Looks like we've got a nice big piece of the puzzle right in our hands.
Sure seems like it. Let's take off and start looking.
Right.
Alright, let's start looking for where the mortar was actually fired. If what Emma calculated is correct, it should have been fired from a point south of the watchtower, and most likely from a point that's easy to overlook so that it's not found out.
Let's see if we can find anywhere that fits that description. To rely on the map. I wonder if the culprit could still be there.
Regardless, we should see what we can find.
South of the watchtower.
South would be this way, right? So it's either going to be there. Yeah, it's right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. So it was fired from up there. Hey, over there.
You found something? What's a rope doing all the way up there?
I see a rope ladder. I can hardly believe its presence here to be mere chance. Do the people of Nord use this area for anything? Not that I've ever known of.
just got that much more suspicious then. Perhaps the mortar was fired from somewhere up there?
It definitely seems worth a look. I'm just not sure how we're going to get up there. Can't reach that rope ladder from down here. I see no way to climb up the cliff face itself either. If you have any suggestions, now would be a fun time.
I believe I have an idea. What if we were to make use of Elisa's orbital bow? My bow? How? Well, if you were able to hit the cord that's tying the rope ladder, perhaps it would unroll itself, allowing us to climb? I'm glad you think I'm that good of a shot, but I really don't see it working. It was just a thought.
It's not like we have any better ideas. Why not give it a try? True enough, time is one resource we don't have much of right now. Searching for some manner of tool to pull it down would cost us precious time as well.
I can't really argue with that. Alright, here goes nothing.
You got this, Elisa. Oh, she's gonna use her magic to help. I see.
There!
I swear, I don't know what this magic is that she's got, or what she is, to do stuff like that.
Wait, what? It actually worked?
You seem to have the makings of a great hunter. It seems this is a day for lucky shots.
We'll have to start calling her Quick Draw Lisa.
Was I just imagining things? Or did that arrow glow for a second?
Well, now that we can reach the ladder, why don't we go have a look on the top of the cliff?
Yeah, let's see what's up there. Let us find out who you are, crazy lady. We got through so much of not hiding secrets. Emma doesn't want to tell us anything, and I'm so liking that. Yeah, there they are. There! Exactly the smoking gun we were looking for.
Well, old orbital mortars. All Reinford models, too. And it looks like they've been used recently. So this is where they were hiding them.
I can see why they chose this place. Who would think to look here? They must have fled the area after firing them last night, leaving the launchers where they were. But unfortunately, these alone do not furnish enough evidence to avert the war. You're right, unfortunately. If we just had a bit more evidence.
Still, this is a solid step forward for our investigation. Perhaps we should return to Zender Gate and let the Lieutenant General know?
That sounds like a good idea. Alright, let's go report.